Hey guys, to watch this video for Monday, August 2nd, I'm going to start off with my kind of standard this time of year disclaimer. Don't overtrade this market and don't trade too big in this market. It's summer. It's kind of dead out there. And a lot of people haven't developed the skill of learning. It sounds stupid, but it's a skill, learning to do nothing when there's nothing to do. I'm taking fewer trades right now because there's fewer trades setting up. And a lot of it is just a volume thing. So August is typically the lowest volume month of the year. So just be prepared for that and don't overtrade, all right? So there's a SPY, gap down, popped a little bit, but ended up going out about where it closed. And again, pretty low volume. What are we watching for Monday? This is kind of a weird chart. I think it was a recent uplist is why it looks like this. But decent volume for this stock on Friday, and it ran from 660 to 855 intraday before settling in at 774. And there's the 5-minute chart of what it did on Friday. So a pretty good move. And it's a low float stock, so it's kind of obscure, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. FLGC, big move. Finally had kind of a nasty red day and is already curling right back up, so I want to watch that one. Btbt, pretty handsome chart here. It's Bitcoin related. Had the big pop about a week ago and really kind of putting a decent little flag right below the recent high. So that one is one of the more interesting charts. And oftentimes when Btbt runs, or I could say Bitcoin runs, NCTY, which I believe is a lower float one, Bitcoin related stock, or at least perceived to be Bitcoin related, it tends to pop too. So that's kind of my possible sympathy play if Btbt rips and I don't catch a trade in that. OPGN had the breakout on Thursday, kind of a quiet inside day on Friday. I'm going to keep my eyes on that one. XBIO is as simple as this. It's a recent high flyer, a huge move on Thursday, by the way, that came back down a little bit on Friday on much lower volume. Sometimes these things curl right back up the very next day after the one-day breather. It's certainly extended, though, so keep that in mind if you're looking to trade it. I'm only going to take any of these with a proper intraday A-plus setup. AHPI perceived to be a COVID play, and well, it is a COVID play. I had the big pop back here, another one here. It's also supposed to be pretty low float. Had a big intraday move again on Friday, but also closed way off its highs, which makes me like it a little bit less, but let's keep our eyes on that one. APT is a mask play that's still, been talking about this one and traded this one a few times over the past week. It's still in breakout mode, but it's certainly a little bit ahead of itself, so keep that in mind. And a couple more. NAOV, which is a weird chart, right? You had the big pop, then the gap up in 2 nasty days, then a pop up. They gave a lot of it back, but then a big gap up again. Then yesterday, or Friday, a big gap down, but a strong day. That is weird action if you think about it. Each one of these, it seems like it gaps every day and then makes a pretty sizable move as far as percentage-wise on an intraday basis. So, and if you look at where it started down here, to where it topped out, and then where it is now, it's kind of hanging out in the middle of its range. So I do want to keep my eyes on that one. And then lastly, and I don't love this idea, but it's SAVA, which is a biotech stock, Alzheimer's play, and obviously must have had some bad news because 2 nasty days. I mean, this has fallen in 2 days from 146 down to under 70. That's a huge drop. Now, my problem with calling this as a bounce play is I don't like calling anything that's biotech that's just had bad news, right? Because they can just keep getting decimated. But that's fallen pretty quickly, and if anything comes of light over the weekend that maybe, hey, this news is better than people perceive, there could be a good bounce this week. So I am going to watch this for an A-plus bounce play setup, and that's it. Not a big list again because this market is not giving a lot of great looking charts for me. Keep in mind, I'm an intraday trader, so these are all things that could give me a setup and be perceived to be in play, so to speak, on Monday or really anytime this week. And that's what I'm starting with, and we'll add gappers in the pre-market on Monday. Should have plenty to trade from. Just remember, watch the volume, keep your position size smaller, and only trade A-plus setups at this point. And I'm done babbling. I'll see you guys in the chat room on Monday morning.